Hey, everybody. Welcome in. It is Wednesday, February 9th. We're live for Wake Up Legendary. For those of you who are here live with us, let us know in the chat. Where are you tuning in from? Well, even if you're attending via replay, you can still tell us where you're tuning in from. Our little Wake Up Legendary show, we've been doing it for around 2 years straight now. Every single day, Monday through Friday. Dave will host some days. I'll host some days. But we're here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you're newer and haven't already heard that we do text message reminders, you can text the letters WUL to 813-296-8553. You'll get just a short little text reminder every time we go live. It'll just pop onto your phone. You can tap right into Facebook and join us live. It's pretty smooth. It's pretty easy. We don't sell you or try to use it as marketing or anything like that. It's mostly just us trying to get this out to as many people as possible so you can wake up feeling more inspired, feeling ready to take on the day. Yeah, so make sure to get signed up for those. Every single day that we come on, unless there's some last minute emergency, every single day we come on and we go live with a new guest. This guest could be an affiliate of ours. It could just be a random person who's taken our training and is selling courses or doing some sort of consulting. It could be anything. But we go live, and the point of going live is that as we've learned over the last 2 years, we've heard people say things like, "Man, I resonate with this so much," or "Wow, like I feel like we've lived the same life," or something like that. And the more that I've come to the longer we've done the show, the more I've come to realize that uh, there's people from different backgrounds, from different places in the world. I mean, we've had people on here from Jamaica and the UK and Australia and New Zealand and South Africa, all over the place. And not just geographic, but then also, there's people from different parts of the world that I've never met who resonate with my story. And I grew up in a tiny little town in middle of nowhere. And it's that shared life experience. But it's also getting sort of in the room. It's a virtual room, but getting in the room with people who have the same values as you, who are on the same mission as you, which is really powerful too. So this morning, we're joined by JT, and I'm going to bring JT on the show, and we're gonna share for the next 30 minutes or so a little bit about his journey and his story and what's going on, JT?
Hey, Matt. Morning or
How are you?
afternoon.
Yeah. What time do you got over there?
3 o'clock in the afternoon now. So most of my working day, my official working day, is nearly done. So the
Nice.
affiliate day will start after the working day.
Yeah, I feel that. What so tell us about what you do for a current, like just for your current job, or what's your current career like, and then and tell us give us a little bit of backstory about you. Tell us a little bit about your life and your journey, and then how you found Legendary.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. So my current role, yeah. So I do work 9 till 5 still. I haven't quit as of yet. Um, I have actually been doing the same sort of job for the last 25 years, being honest, Matt. So actually,
Wow.
I left school and went straight into a career in an office. So, and I've been doing that for so long. A couple of companies, different companies, and the last one that I'm currently at, I'm 15 years in. So I can probably hear you all going, well, why am I still then looking at affiliate marketing? Why am I looking at my own business as such? And being
Yes.
honest, Matt, it's the why came probably summer of last year. And
Okay.
that, so for me, actually, it was a conversation with my HR team. So, and I'll be blunt with you, Matt. They turned around and said, "There's no room for you to move anywhere else. So you
Wow.
either get out, carry on, or do your own thing." And guess what? Doing my own thing, mate.
Wow, crazy. So what they're just unwilling. I was just this is kind of I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok, but I do look around a little bit here and there. And I was just watching this guy who had recorded his conversation on Zoom with his HR team. and he was, basically begging for a raise. And I just thought, man, that sucks. I mean, forget about, trying to be mean about, oh, you still got a job, like, I don't like shaming people for that. But uh it just was like, it was such a real raw reminder that, like, man, you've gotta shoot for and find something that can build you a lasting income that isn't dependent on some random person in HR who might have a weird, bone to pick with you or something,
Yep.
who knows? Or who knows what's going on in their life that they need that power trip or whatever.
Yeah, no,
So you go into that meeting, and had you ever done any sort of, like, affiliate marketing or any sort of just side hustle type things?
yeah, yeah. Being honest, Matt, I've done probably in touch to. I did the Etsy thing, I did the survey thing, I've done e-commerce selling. So it was all, yeah, I've done a bit. Did I succeed? No, I didn't succeed at all. And being honest with you, Matt, affiliate marketing, I didn't get it at all. I didn't get any idea of where it come from. So I did my own research, like a lot of people would do anyway, and go and do the Google search and see what comes up and see what it's all about. So I did exactly that. So for me, it was the conversation, and Tyler was one of the guys that I know I see come up with the name quite a bit with you guys. He was one of the ones that I actually reached out to, made contact, and said, "Okay, tell me a bit more. How does this work?" Sort of thing. So yeah, big thanks to him that actually I'm on board
Tyler
now.
Wise, you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, Tyler Wise. Yeah,
Oh, cool. Yeah, he's been on our show a couple of times.
yeah,
That's very cool. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's really smart and he's really savvy too. I think he's very, very, very savvy. That's cool. So you reach out to Tyler and you're like, "Hey, what's this thing all about?" So I always like to take people into the moment of, like, I'm putting in my credit card for $7. What was that like? What did you feel like was gonna happen? Did what you expected to happen? And then what was the training like?
yeah, yeah. Being honest, it was exactly as I expected. And probably more. Being honest, Matt, you got a lot more for the $7. That's the way I looked at it. And I've seen other courses. I've been on other courses and paid for other courses, and then abandoned the other courses as well. And that, you, for what you pay, is a lot of content coming out of it. The concern I had was, okay, how much is going to be upsold to me, etc. Like everyone else has that doubt and that, but you see it as part of affiliate marketing. And again, what comes and resonates, and especially some of the conversations you guys have on this daily basis as well, is actually, well, you would pay a lot more for education. That's the way you've got to look at it. It's a life skill, and a lot of the conversations I have across all the social platforms, and I know you're probably going to braze all of that with me, Matt, but from the social platforms that I do engage with, a lot of the questions come, why should I? Why should I invest, etc. And we go, well,
Yep.
you're paying it out for college, or you're paying it out for university. It's like you're paying a lot more for that, and there's no
Mhm.
guarantee you're not going to make any money, and you probably not even got a job to go to once you finish it.
True. I think a lot of people are running into that.
All the time, all the time. Um, you want to know a bit more about me, Matt? So, as I said,
Yeah.
career-wise, too long in the game. I mean, and being honest, I'm in the financial services. Unfortunately, I do wear a techie hat, so I am a bit of a, a techie. So, setting up a sales
Sure.
funnel wasn't too far for me to do as such, and I tinker with it quite a bit. So I make lots
Sure.
of changes to it quite a bit. If that, I have to be careful of what wording I use. So
Right?
so yeah, so for me, I can deal with it. And what I do on a regular basis is I do my 9 to 5 job. The extra time that I have, whether that be through a lunch hour, through after work, or before work, that's where I put the time and effort into my affiliate marketing. And that's, so most of the time you'll find me over my lunch hour is actually I'm making videos, I'm making the
Yep.
posts, etc. So my Instagram, I not only do reels on there, I also still put content up through posts, etc., as well that I've seen, or put some commentary out there as well.
Yeah. And you work from home?
I do work from home.
Yeah, the whole work from home thing, I mean, so many people, I mean, they get to that lunch break and they're like, all right, I'm gonna open my phone. Here we go. I'm making a TikTok. And it's just I love it because, man, I don't know that, not to say that I've loved the pandemic, but I've hated it. But I think everything is the lens with which you look through it, right? So there isn't a whole hell of a lot that I can do to change what we're doing and what we're living in, right? And I like that approach and I like that outlook because as soon as I get to that point, I think most people stop there, right? So they say, "Oh, there's nothing I can do. This is being done to me," right? And it's all victim. It's all whatever. But I think that what I love about this community, what I love about sort of digital entrepreneurs or just well, actually, no, I mean, I think this community in particular, because I actually do know a lot of small business owners who have the same exact mentality. They have that same victim mentality as most people in the world. And so when something bad happens, their store gets vandalized or their pizza place gets broke into and they get equipment stolen or whatever, they're just like, oh, of course, nothing I could do. They didn't have a security system, but there's nothing they could do, right? And
Yeah.
so uh, what I like about what's happened over the last 2 years is I think it's snapped a lot of people, including myself, out of this sort of just assuming you've been doing this for 15 years. You know this better than anybody. Just assuming you've got the job, you've got the thing, right? And people who've done it for 5 years. When I was working a job in coffee, I'd worked there 2 or 3 years and I was settled into that. But you settle in quickly because it's easy and it feels cozy and there's some sort of comfort level to it. It's known and familiar. But this, man, the last 2 years has slammed everybody out of it. And now everybody's like, screw this. Like everything's now going out onto the internet. And like, there's this huge pie, and I'm just going to take my little knife and just carve my little slice out of this damn thing. And
Yeah.
I think that to me is a big silver lining to a really hard 2 years for a lot of people, is that it really forced us outside of our will in many ways to just re-examine and re-look at things like, man, I need to look with a different set of lens at this whole thing, right? And I think in many ways it's allowed employees and employers maybe too to sort of re-examine, how do we think about work? How do we, even just work in general. But anyway, that's a little bit of a rant, but it just came up for me as you were talking about, doing TikToks during lunch and that kind of thing. I mean, we've got a whole community of people who are sitting around on lunch breaks with the TikTok app open, dancing and they've got hip new music blasting through their TikTok speakers, and their kids are like, "What the hell is mom doing in the office?" Like,
Yeah.
what is going on? And it's just a funny thing, and I enjoy that sort of energy and that creative power, and it feels a bit to me like people taking autonomy back for themselves, and that's really cool thing.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely, and yeah, the hybrid thing. I think most people will be constantly at home, and even on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it, Matt, but some of the brands, the CEOs, are now getting to the realization they need to be on that platform as well. So, and I saw some of
True.
the big ones. I know you guys have the Shark Tank in the US. Well, we have Dragon's Den over in the UK, and one of our
Yep.
main dragons has now gone into TikTok as of yesterday. So they're now noticing that that's the platform they need to be on to advertise as such.
Totally. Totally. There's so much reach. There's so much potential. And this is my favorite thing. When I first got started online, I had this good mentor of mine. who said he explained it this way. He said universities are largely 5 years behind this industry. So universities, 5 to 10 years, big institutions, 5 to 10 years behind, which is why if you go to college right now, you're not getting taught how to market on TikTok. People are just telling you, people are mostly just telling you, you know, there's this new thing called TikTok. That's the education you'll get in a 4-year marketing degree. And then there's TikTok. Like you can get lots of traction and whatever on TikTok. But I think that like for most people, in this industry, they're finding, and it's exactly what I found. It's basically as it happens, you learn it. And as it's happening, you're discovering new things, which is a funny thing for me because I teach some of this stuff, but the true reality of it is like we're teaching it as we're going and learning and watching and observing. And I soak in all of this information and can condense it into something that's somewhat understandable to people. And it
Yep.
can be frustrating because you're not learning in a university style where you have years of history and you can look back and say, here's all of the ways, you know, that this has changed and adjusted and here's what to do now. It's more like, hey, this platform got launched yesterday and there's a lot of people making money from it. Let's look at what they're doing and try to, you know, boil this down to a few principles. It's
And
just it's a different way.
And being honest though with you, Matt, like when you talk about TikTok, you think at the moment you've got up to 3 minutes you can record on there. They're now saying you want to be recording videos within 7 seconds, 9 seconds, etc. So it's completely changed. So you've got the 3 minutes, but how much they're going to push those videos that you've made 3 minutes long out to an audience. Certainly, I've done a couple, and yes, it's taken a long while to get any traction and any views on those videos because they just don't make that go in front of the audience that you want it to be in front of as such. So it's only by you've built your followers, you've got your audience on that platform that they're going to go back and say, oh yeah, actually I'm going to watch that video because it's 3 minutes long or it's 2.5 minutes long as such. So you're really getting to a point of it's no longer 15 seconds. You've got to be between that 7 and 9 seconds to get those videos and make sure that your video is pushed in front of a new audience as such.
Totally. And it's always changing. It's always adjusting. It's always what's working, what's next. And this is a really cool thing. And I think it's probably part of why you were able to grow your account so quickly. Well, I know it is because you can't really grow an account quickly without this trait or without this ability. But would you agree that, and just tell me a little bit about your thoughts on this
Yeah.
statement.
So
I
go.
Oh yeah, I think that for the TikTok realm, it has to be you have to have this ability to observe what's going on in the app and really process it. You've got to look at what trends, what sounds, what dances, what are people saying that you're seeing over and over again? Oh, okay, that's getting pushed. That's getting pushed. How do I now tap in my message and my niche and my industry into the things, into that stream of consciousness that's going on or unconsciousness in the TikTok or Instagram or whatever, Facebook Reels, you know, all over. Facebook's starting to really push Reels hard now.
We don't over in the UK. We don't have reels on Facebook yet.
Well,
So
I just started to see them on my timeline yesterday. I saw my first one.
yeah,
Um,
I'm completely
so
stuck
it's coming.
for it. So
And but it doesn't really matter if though the truth is it doesn't really matter. It's play wherever it's available to be played, right?
yeah.
Whatever you can do that. That's the right thing to be doing. But for you, how have you what steps have you taken or what type of like how yeah, what steps have you taken to evaluate what's going on TikTok and social media and then replicate that or boil it down to like a formula? What does your day of content creation look like?
Okay. So for me, when I started out on TikTok 90 days ago, as such, when I first looked at it, being honest, Matt, I didn't want to do what everyone else on live is probably just thinking, I don't want to put my face out there. I was exactly at that point. I was like, okay, I'm going to go and get stock videos. I'm going to go and get Canva, put something together. I did that. Yes, it got me some views. Did it get me any followers? Really, no. It didn't get the followers. It got the views there, and you will see that my like count, yeah, great. It's high sort of thing. For me, it was getting the face out there. It was putting a message out there, because it is those people that actually do have the trust. They build the trust with you, and they're the ones that are going to send you the DM or send you the comment and say, okay, I want to know more. And that you're not going to get those on the generic ones. And I see that more and more. The new ones that come about, Matt, they do put the stock video on there, and even the stock videos that I use are coming back out again. Like, oh yeah, I've seen that one. I know where you're coming from as such. So that's where I started at. Being honest with you, Matt, I don't do very many voice ones, and that because it seems a lot of people want to read. They want to read your message. They don't want to hear your message, and that a lot of them want to read it first of all. So I find that actually I get more traction for those ones that may have content that's over the screen, that actually I've put loads of words and it's blurring my face, that they'll want to read it because they're going to repeat reading it, or they may have read the first 2 lines and not read the rest of it, so they've got to repeat the video as such. So that's the sort of thing that I've seen on TikTok. In particular for me, Matt, I do probably what hopefully that other people do is try to mirror others. I watch a lot of others, both on Insta and on TikTok, put them in my favorites, have a look, then go back over and go, okay, can I repeat that? Can I alternate the wording, the messaging? The concern I have, Matt, as well, and I look across and make sure that I'm watching that's coming out from TikTok creators as well, not just in our own niche as such from the Make Money Online, but the TikTok creators, the marketers that are out there on TikTok that are specialized in there as well. So there's a couple of them in particular, Matt, that I will watch because they're going to know what's coming down the line. They're going to know if TikTok's actually changed any of the algorithm, any of the blockage as well. So I saw lots of comms yesterday with Facebook channels, etc., saying, oh, they're starting to block the affiliate marketing. You're putting that message out there. Being honest with you, Matt, I've put some out in the last 48 hours. They haven't got blocks. They haven't violated at this point. So hopefully they won't.
Nope, it hasn't. Trust me, I get to see a lot of back end stuff. I mean, it's not. It's just not. But I wanted to just point out to you the part that you said about the words on the screen. That's so key, because over the last, I didn't used to do this, but because words on the screen have become more popular, I used to always view TikTok on my as a video, as listening. And for anybody who's creating content on TikTok, you should lean into this, and I hope you didn't miss it. I now sometimes like will lay on the couch or lay in bed or something, and somebody's watching a show next to me, or somebody's got a different podcast on, and I'll actually just literally turn the volume all the way down on TikTok, because now I can just read captions, or I can scroll through and just see the words that are popping up on the screen. And I'll have like a 30-minute silent TikTok engagement. Like, it's not very often that I'm on TikTok, but when I do, I've found that I'm doing that more. And if you're creating content on TikTok and you're not putting words on the screen or captions on your video, it's a huge miss. Huge miss. And I'm glad that you said that, because yeah, your videos that are taking, there's no wonder a lot of people are starting to just watch and listen now without any sort of sound.
And Matt, you've got to remember, one of the ultimate for TikTok, they're going to push your videos more, is actually the watch time. Now, if that watch time for you, Matt, that you've read the first 3 lines of my TikTok video, and I've got another 7 underneath, you're going to watch it again. And you might then watch it the whole time that you've got all of the lines. And that's the thing. That's the ultimate, is if you can put more on that video that they're going to read, and still try and get it within that window of not 7 to 9 to 15 seconds, that's the ultimate, because they're pushing that more and more to you. Matt, I don't know if you saw yesterday, and particularly for me as well, I saw a big change in Instagram as well, and I did a video on it yesterday as well. That Instagram, so Instagram have now started to push the reels really heavy. and actually they don't want them on your feed. So they actually, if you turn off the share button on when you're posting your reel, they're pushing those more out as well. So I've noticed that the
Oh,
last 2 weeks, turned off my share to my feed, and they're going out. They're in the thousands. So certainly anyone that is repurposing from TikTok onto Instagram, turn off your reel to feed. It will go. It's a manic, and especially if you get it in your right timing as well. So, which is the hardest bit for us in the UK, because hey, you guys in the US, you're getting it out all the time. So for us, it's a difficult one, especially on Instagram.
jeez. Wow, that's cool, man. That's cool. And another gold bomb you just dropped there.
Sorry, mate.
I'm like, I really hope people are listening to this and as JT saying that, I also just want to caveat that by saying it doesn't guarantee that just because that worked for JT, it's going to work for you. The bigger point of actually saying something like that is to get you to try it, right? So just give it an attempt, try it with 10 different videos and try and split test. This is a place on this show where you can get ideas. I've never tried it, so I don't know, but it makes sense. It's smart. And you start to when you get into this Wake Up Legendary show, you get on with smart dudes like this who are like, well, let's try this. Or, hey, I read this on a blog and then I tried it and then it worked. And then, and then 15 people hear it on this show and they're like, wow, I tried it and it worked. And then it gets posted in our Facebook group. And then suddenly everybody in our whole community is going viral on Instagram. Right. And it's that kind of communal, it's almost like masterminding a little, but you're dropping some really big, huge gold bars
Right.
for people right
I want to share, and that's why I made the TikTok with it, Matt. I put
now.
my even it came out of my niche, and I was like, do I post it? Do I not post it? And it's like,
Yeah.
actually, because my niche is for the affiliates to actually make more money, make more views, etc. I thought, no, I want to post it out there, and I didn't put it on Instagram because I'm sure their algorithm would kick it straight out if I put it on there. So, but for TikTok, I posted it. They accepted
Right.
it. It's up there. So and exactly what you said, Matt. The way that I said, try it, turn it off, put it through, see what happens.
Totally. 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 And for anybody who's having a rough go, just feeling like they keep posting videos and keep doing their same thing, hey, just mix it up. It's kind of like grabbing by the shoulder, just kind of shake it up a little bit, mix it up. Try something different, man. That's a good tip. I love that. I love that little thing. Melissa is wondering how you actually turn that off. There's just a little option when you're about to post a reel. It's like a checkbox, right?
Yeah, it's a checkbox, just where you put your captions in there, and you can just turn it off. But
The nugget, there's some people saying, what was that nugget again? Basically, in a nutshell, guys, that nugget is when you post a reel to Instagram, there's a little checkbox I think it's pre-checked. I can't remember, but I
yeah,
think it's pre-checked. And it says also post it to your feed. So it'll post it two different places, to your reels and to your feed. And you turn that, he's saying you try to turn that off and then post your reels and see what happens. See if you're able to get more reach and more views on your videos. And
Matt,
trying little things like that and experimenting is really at the heart of marketing.
when I had it on before, Matt, my views on Insta were about in the hundreds, and I thought I'll turn it off, see what's going to happen. And I was, like you said, split testing. Does it work with it on? What the views are? And then I'm just posting to Instagram straight onto the Reels tab. And I think that's what they wanted anyway. The announcements that were coming out from Instagram is they're pushing more and more videos. And I think doing it that way, that's their workaround as such.
Yeah, they're trying to push it all, man. I mean, they are trying to keep up with TikTok. And the funny part is, man, every single time, I don't know if it's funny, but the funny part to me is every single time that people will post on social media platform, like this happened on Facebook, it happened on Instagram, it happened on YouTube, and now it's happening on TikTok. Is there's there's always these people who are out there who are like, yeah, but I think the heyday of TikTok is over, or I think TikTok's starting. But on my end, like on our end, we see these people who have been on TikTok for a year and a half. There's big names, and they're still just never ending traffic being pumped through their channels, and they're making more than ever. And I'm just like, man, I just don't see it. Like, I just don't see it. Um, for you creating content, at being, you said that you're kind of more of a techie person. Was it tough to start creating content, or did you find it enjoyable?
Completely out of my comfort zone, Matt. So as I said, when I first started, stock videos all the way. It's like, where can I put a stock video? How can I put some wording on it? That was my approach. And then I
Mhm.
saw others were doing it. I reached out to Tyler again at that point and said, Tyler, how? And he's like, just post a video. Don't put the words in it. Just stand in it. Just post the video and stand in it and see what happens. And that was
Right.
the impact that came back from Tyler. So I can only thank him for
Mm.
that. But yeah, that changed it. And as Matt, I use quite a few of the platforms. I know it goes against the grain that we all say that actually should focus on one. I do find that I do get traction from other platforms, and that I get, and it's not as much as you'd get from TikTok. It's not as much as you'd get from Instagram, but you do, where the platform has evolved and got a DM functionality
Yeah.
that even Pinterest have now, so that you got the Pinterest DMs that come across. I still get leads. I still get people signing up in those directions. And even Twitter, I've got to a point that I thought, I don't get Twitter. I really still don't get Twitter as such. But hey, I take some of the content that I put on Instagram, even my posts as such, and put the copy link on there. I
Yep.
get traction. People are retweeting it as well and getting DMs that way. So yes,
Wow.
it's still my focus. TikTok and Instagram, they're the platforms that I'm solely concentrating on. Some, but I might take one of those reels or those videos and pull it to the other platforms. So that for me has worked. And that,
Mhm.
as you and I both know, it might work for me, might work for other people, might not. So it's that trial and error as such.
Totally is the trial and error. I feel like, man, to me, I you said something there. You said, it might be going against the grain. I just don't think it's against the grain to do anything really. Like, honest to God, like, most of my training and most of like what I'll suggest to people is my suggestions based on what I see for people, because I'm just in the, like, I'm just constantly, I'm, on the other side of my screen behind this window, there's 15 emails from people who are setting up their autoresponders or setting up their funnels and setting up their stuff, right? And so all the questions that come up and all the ways that people get distracted and lost, that's why I usually say, hey, just start with one. Like, let's just see if we can get a follower. Let's
Yeah,
just see if we can get 1,000 followers, and then we'll see what you gravitate towards and what your content looks like, and then we can identify maybe what platforms it's going to work on. But hell, I mean, I don't care. I would prefer people start throwing content out everywhere, because it's funny. There's just this little intuitive thing in people that I've found where people just start gravitating towards certain platforms, whether it's Pinterest, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram. They're just like, man, that just felt easy to post. Something about that felt easy. Plus, I got more views here. Like, I'm gonna spend 80% of my time here, and I'll keep working on the other ones, but I'm gonna really spend 80% of my time on TikTok, or I'm gonna spend 80% of my time on Pinterest, right? And there's a lot of people who are doing well on Pinterest. So, um, anyway, all right. Well, there's been a lot of good stuff in here, and for everybody who's watching or listening to this, just little tips, little nuggets have been dropped throughout this whole show by JT, and you should go back and listen to them. JT, for people who have never posted a video, never tried to get themselves out there, and they're nervous or they're worried, what would you say to those people?
lose your inhibitions. Lose your
Mm,
inhibitions. Let it go. You've just got to try it, and you haven't got to speak. So take that away. Take that worriness that someone's going to make an impression because you've spoken. I'm a Londoner, an Essex boy as such, so I've got a different accent than you guys in America. So, and my videos are probably not as clear as some of the others. So take it away. Just put your face out there, because as soon as
Yeah.
people start to see you, they start to trust you. You start to build an audience as such. So that's all I would say is come off the stock videos. Yes, it's lovely to start. It won't build your audience.
Yeah, that's fair. It could get you going and get you used to posting and stuff, but start bringing out some real content. I love that. JT, man, thanks so much, and we would love to have you back on in a couple months, sharing more about what you've been learning and what's been working.
Nah, happy to come along, mate. Not a problem at all.
And is this the best place for people to follow you, Money Worries UK?
It is Money Worries UK. So there's just the branding that I put up in the UK, and that. And Matt, if anyone sees my tagline, and certainly for anyone that is setting up a brand, I would say to you, get yourself a tagline. Don't just get yourself a brand, get yourself a tagline. And
Cool.
that I use Money Never Sleeps.
I love it.
Yeah. So put yourself a tagline out there, and that's the one that you're going to resonate with.
I have a photo. Let me show you this real quick. Let me see if I can find this. This is from this summer. He said money never sleeps. Watch this. I have a photo. We visited Austin, and I can't remember where we were staying, but we were staying somewhere in Austin, Texas this last summer, and I think it was in June. Here's me scrolling.
Giving away a secret as well, Matt. You've told him my first name.
What I have?
Yeah, on the link.
Oh,
so yeah,
I got the
yeah, no, it's fine. So yeah, I being honest, I don't go by it. I go just by JT. So that's why.
Yeah. Cool. I've got the here we go. Ready? I've got I got a really great photo that you can use at some point. Let me hold this up. I actually love that phrase too. And that was me at a hotel in Austin. Right when you said that phrase, I was like, oh damn, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, cool. JT, thanks. And keep in touch with us. You can shoot me an email, you can shoot Dave an email, and you know, if you've got cool updates or things are taking off, we'd love to have you back.
Yeah, appreciate that, Matt. I appreciate all the help you guys give me.
Awesome. Oh, all right. I tried to take JT off and I took myself off. So you can follow him on TikTok, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on YouTube, Money Worries UK. And let me put that back on the screen. So down at the bottom of the screen, you can see it, but it's just Money Worries UK. You can find him TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest. Go follow him. And I always tell people when you go follow him, make sure to leave a comment. Let him know, hey, I saw you on Wake Up Legendary. It was a cool episode. I'm really glad that you shared whatever. You know, what did you get from the episode? What was impactful? And we'll be back here tomorrow. Dave's going to be back here Thursday and Friday for more Wake Up Legendary. If you have a suggestion of somebody who would be great for the show, maybe they're just a digital entrepreneur. They don't even have to be in our community. We'd love to hear from them, love to interview them. You can always send suggestions to Dave at legendarymarketer.com. And, you know, sometimes people just don't come across our radar, but we love sitting down with people from all different niches and industries. And so send any suggestions to Dave at legendarymarketer.com. We'd love to hear. And we'll see you back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Peace out, everybody.